Welcome back, lighting friends. Rob from Pathway Connectivity Solutions. In the last video, we looked at all of the different ways that you can pan and tilt a light using Cognito's position control tools. And as promised, this one is going to show you how we can get color, specifically out of color mixing lights. Those would be additive lights or subtractive lights. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to use a little emulation to show 20 lights along the bottom of the screen here. And I'm going to show you all the different ways, not all the different ways, some of the ways in which you can get color. So I'm going to select my 20 RGB lights here, and then hitting the intensity button on the Cognito console, I get the intensity libraries, and hitting the C button, I will actually take these lights to full. And here we now see 20 lights at the bottom of the screen here. And that in itself is a little bit of magic, because these lights are only expecting 3 DMX channels. Those would be red, green, and blue. So we've given them a virtual intensity channel and figured out how to get white out of them. And there'll be a lot more discussion on white and what white means in future topics when we talk about correlated color temperature. But for now, we take it to full, the lights come on. It doesn't seem like magic, but it is. So one of the tools that is very useful is the IRGB control, which is also in the intensity tool strip. So I'm going to touch that now, and what it does is it hooks up 4 sliders to the yellow, red, and green and blue wheels, and I can roll these wheels and get different values. So this is just an example of using the yellow wheel or the A wheel to get intensity between 0 and full. There is another button, a set of buttons to the left of the slider, which will allow you to raise and lower it. So if I touch the lower button, the lights will slowly come down in intensity. Now, if that's a little bit too slow for me, what you do is you touch the opposite end of the button and they'll move more quickly. So depending where you touch on the button, if you touch in the middle, it'll go up sort of at a medium speed. If you touch near the top, it'll go up quite quickly. And that's the same for red, green, and blue as well. You may also just want to grab these and pull them down and set them to levels that you want, like that. One of the tricks in this IRGB control, which is kind of fun, is if I bring up red to full, I get red lights. And then I'm going to slowly raise up blue, and I'm going to take the blue until it reaches near the top, and red and blue is magenta. But if you keep holding down the raise button, this IRGB control will do you a little favor, and it will actually pull out the red. So you are actually left with full-blown blue. And if you add in green with the green wheel, you're going to go towards the cyans. But if you keep rolling the wheel, it will do you the favor of pulling out the blue for you, so you get pure green in the end. So those are the IRGB control in the intensity tool. If you hit the color tool, you will get standard tools for setting color. And the wheel banks right now are set on color mix. There's another one here called color correlation. We'll deal with that in a future topic. But for now, again, if I roll the red wheel, I will get more and more red. In this case, when I get to the top, it can't give me more than 100, and it just leaves the green wheel alone. We also mentioned you can press the button and you'll get like in this case, I press the C button, you get a pop-up list, and I can set it to any value between 0 and 100 in tens, and I get an immediate response. The other thing that I've demonstrated with pan and tilt, holding down shift and hitting, in this case, the D button, it will take it from one extent to the other. So here, using all the buttons here, I will take out red, I'll bring in red. I will bring in green, which gives me yellow, take out red, I get green. I can add in blue and I'll get cyan, take out the green, I'll get blue, take out the blue, and I get black. Very simple ways to get to colors quickly. Another method of getting color that you want out of a color mixing light, and it seems very intuitive, very easy, is the color picker. So select that tool in the color toolbar, and you'll see this display where you can just touch anywhere on the screen and it will set all of the lights to that one color. This seems very simple. We've added the ability to roll the wheels too, so that the B wheel takes you through the hue. This is one wheel that is actually changing all three DMX parameters of a moving light. So this is a very clever way to control lots of parameters at the same time. And the green wheel will actually take you from a not much color, and if you go all the way to the bottom, to black, all the way up through the saturated colors. Carrying on, it will give you the pale colors, and if you go too far, it will go all the way up to white. Or you can just simply touch where you want it to be. The A wheel will give you 3 different rainbows and something called spread. So let's just roll the A wheel to rainbow here and see what happens when we pick a deep blue. And then we will take the D wheel, which is defined as width, and we will increase the width. And what happens is you will get a rainbow, and the center light is blue, which is the color underneath the crosshairs of the B wheel and the C wheel. And to the left of it, to the left of this light, you will get greens because those are to the left on the spectrum. And to the right, you will get the pinks and the reds. And that depends on the width. So as you decrease the width, they look more and more like the blue in the center. So understanding the single rainbow, then it's easier to understand if I roll to the rainbow mirrored on the left. What happens is the light in the middle is underneath my crosshairs, and then the ones to the extents are colors on this spectrum towards its left. So if I just go down to here, we just go from the blues to the cyans. And then again, rolling the hue or the red wheel, you can actually change the center point, and the width or the variance of color remains the same. So if I go all the way over into the yellows, then I just get reds on the edges. Now, if you change to rainbow right, in this case I'll just touch this button, what happens is, of course, the center is the center, and the ends are the guys to my right. So if I increase my width here, the ends will go into the cyans. If I keep increasing, they'll go to the blues. If I go too far, as I have here, then they go into the pinks. So let's try to make this something more artistic there. That's something along the lines there. Let's go back to a single color. Pick a color that we like. Deep, deep blue. The spread option, what that does is it actually spreads the fixtures from the center out towards the ends along what the C-axis does here. So if I increase the spread, I get deep colors in the center, and the other colors go along up and down where the C line would go towards the less saturated or pale colors. And this is very useful when you're using a bunch of lights to go across a cyclorama. The next tool that I want to show you is the libraries tool. And I have pre-recorded some libraries here. In a future topic, we'll discuss how you do this. But I could select all of the lights of my red, green, blues and send them to this grass color or this deep amber color just by touching on it, or sky blue. Now, everything doesn't have to be the same color too. I've painstakingly gone through and selected some lights, and I've done a candy cane, which would be red, white, red, white, red, white. Or I could have done hot dog, which is yellow, red, yellow, red. Or I could have done something which is a full rainbow. Now, something to note, the first light in the library is the guy who gets the color. So when I do a full rainbow here, there's my red light, and the rainbow goes all the way across. Now, the libraries shown on this screen are the libraries that I have pre-recorded. Now, they are in banks of 40. This is just showing color 1 of 1 here. And if I had many more, they would actually be paged by hitting this button or this button here. There aren't in this case, but there are pre-built libraries, and if you use these up and down arrows here, you will go through pre-built manufactured gel libraries. So we have the Roscoe library, and there's 8 pages of those. So if I set everybody to R19, which is fire red, or I can page into the deeper guys here, and let's do a night blue, or carry on, and we have lots and lots of different Roscoe colors. There's other manufacturers represented. There's Lee colors. There's 4 pages of Lee colors. So I can pick a Lee 134, golden amber, GAM colors. There's pages of those, 5 pages of those, and 4 pages of Apollo colors. So trying to find something. There we go. So this is many methods to get to different color. In subsequent videos, we are going to show you even more methods. There's a whole discussion on color spaces, RGB versus CMY versus hue saturation value. There's an entire discussion on correlated color temperature, or CCT. There's many different methods using the Cognito app on your iPad to set color. And a future topic will also show you how to record your own color libraries. So until next time, thanks for joining me.